Hello and welcome on board Norse Altamira. Norse Altamira, she's part of the Clipper Bulk group of ships. As for the last two ships I worked on, Lignum Mesh and Lignum Nexus, they're all basically sister ships and almost identical to each other. So we're just departed Tauranga now, underway to China. To any subscribers who are watching, welcome back, great to see you again. And if you are new here, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy the video. Up next, departure footage from Tauranga, then I'll show you my cabin, show you around the accommodation, I'll go down to the engine room, have a look down there, and just some footage of the voyage to China. Enjoy the video. Okay, so this is my cabin. Again, very much the same as Lignum Mesh and Lignum Nexus. Single bed, desk and some storage up there. Couch, sofa type thing, which I'm just using to store my work gear. Cabinet. The bathroom here, again pretty much the same. I have a feeling that the shower actually has a little bit more space than the last two ships though. But other than that, all identical. And we're located just behind the bridge, which we'll have a look at after this. So that'll be home sweet home for the next 18 or 19 days. So we're about 280 miles north of New Zealand and 150 miles southeast of Norfolk Island. There's actually a low pressure system at the moment in the southern Tasman Sea here, and that's pushing its way up. So this is the weather situation currently. Yeah, it's quite gusty out there today, and the sea, it's like a washing machine out there. I don't know what the wave size is. I'd say about 3.5 meters, but we're well loaded, so the movement of the ship isn't too bad. If we were empty on ballast, yeah, we'd be dancing on the bridge. Lovely autumn weather in the South Pacific. Wind speeds picked up and speeds dropped off a little bit too. Yeah, the wipers aren't doing absolutely anything now with the strong winds and heavy rain. This is a good time to demonstrate how this device works. If you watched other ship videos, you might have seen these on the windows on the bridge. It's actually called a clear view screen. There we go. How that works, it's got some like perspex plastic which spins at very high speed. So if you've got any moisture like rain, snow, ice, on the windows. This gets rid of it and you can see clearly. I guess this crappy weather is a good time to show you around the bridge. So here we've got the GMDSS station, Inmarsat computers, printers up there for any weather reports, distress calls or anything like that, and in the middle is the MFHF radio. Here's how we get our weather information on board. Prints out from here, and this has been issued by Wellington in New Zealand, so to see. This is the nav locker, spare life jackets, immersion suits, got flares in here, line throwing apparatus, other safety equipment. A small kitchen area here with refrigerator, tea and coffee. This is the UTC clock. Aneroid barometer for measuring air pressure. Firefighting system, fire alarm panel, and cargo hold water ingress alarm panel. Workstation for the officers, and here's the chart table. External light switches and navigation light controls. Cargo hold fan control panel. More light switches down here. From here you can trigger the emergency alarm. Telephones, echo sounder, and printer below, which is currently switched off because we're in deep water. That's only to be used in shallow waters. Speed log and GPS. This is the, could say the engine panel basically. Got the main engine telegraph here. Very easy to use, just push the button and the engine room will reply. Engine display. Running at 82 RPM at the moment. 82 point, could be 81. It fluctuates. And you just see all sorts of parameters there. Comes up from the engine room. Prop shaft RPM and main engine start air, and telephone directly down to the engine control room, and that's the engine room alarm extension panel. Here's the helm, the steering wheel. Huge ship, but tiny steering wheel. Number 2 X-band radar. Number 1 ECDIS, primary ECDIS screen. Number 1 radar S-band, and number 2 ECDIS. This is the magnetic compass. Try and put my camera up there so you can see. Focus on it. Yeah, there it is up there. That's actually up on top of Monkey Island. That's where the compass is. Gyroscopic compass. Clock, RPM, rudder indicator, speed, position, and time up there, like a multi-function display. And wind speed anemometer. VHF radio number 2. Ship's PA system. This is the screen here is part of the BNWAS Benoit system. And how it works is the officer on duty has to push that button every the yellow button every 12 minutes, or just roll the mouse on the ECDIS screen or radar screen. If he doesn't do that, an alarm will go down to the captain's cabin, and it could be a medical emergency, or he's just not on the bridge, and yeah, they'll come up and investigate, make sure nothing's going on there. So it's just a safety system, just to make sure the officer on watch is awake and everything's okay. This is the AIS box, AIS display. So we're underway using engine. That's our nav status, going to Zhenjiang in China. And we have 21 persons on board. And number 1 VHF radio. Here's our server room for the Inmarsat. Various flags of the world and signal flags in this cabinet. So that's the bridge of Norse Altamira. Basically the same as Lignum Mesh, Lignum Nexus, the last 2 ships I've worked on. The only difference is the ECDIS screens are different from those 2 ships, but other than that, pretty much the same. Alright, let's take a look around the accommodation, starting off on D deck. So here you've got the cabin of the captain there, and to the other side here is the chief engineer's cabin, and we've also got other various officers' cabins here too. Chief officer's cabin there and third officer's cabin. And this is the captain's cabin. We won't go inside, but he has a meeting room there, and there is his day room. We've got the third engineer and first engineer's cabins. This is C deck and the list of cabins you'll find here. Bond store up there. You can buy all sorts of stuff like beer, cigarettes, soft drinks, snacks. Various cabins here of different ratings. A few more cabins here as well. Being a Japanese built ship, rating cabins don't actually have private bathrooms and showers, unfortunately, so they have shared facilities instead. Okay, B deck. I guess you could call this the common area of the ship. This is the ship's office. Officer's dining room. This is the galley, the ship's kitchen. Let's have a look what's for dinner tonight. We've got some grilled fish, fried rice, pork and squid. Looks real good. And this is the crew's dining room. Crew's recreation room. We have a karaoke machine here. And the officers' recreation room, saloon as they call it, quite fancy. Yes, there is even a hospital on board the ship. We're on A deck now. Not too much down here, just storage rooms mainly. Got the common laundry room there, and behind that's a drying room. This is the ship's pantry, where all the non-perishable foods are stored. Gymnasium room is down here as well. Multi-purpose room, they call it. So here's where all the refrigerated food is stored. We got the vegetable room. I just received provisions in New Zealand, so stocked up again for the voyage. Frozen meats in here. And lastly, frozen seafood in here. This is the upper deck, ground floor, the deck workshop and storeroom. The deck crew's changing room, locker room. Emergency escape trunk from the engine room. Fire control room. And this is the changing room for the engine room crew. And through that door there, access to the engine room. Let's head down there next and have a look. This is the engine control room, the ECR. We've got a workstation over there with some computers, tea and coffee making facilities and refrigerator, various monitoring screens here on the main panel, various air pressures, more monitoring screens, engine telegraph and RPM control, telephones, nice cold air conditioning there, lovely, got to keep all this electrical gear warm. And here we have the switchboard, which controls various electrical components of the ship. Alright, so here's the engine room. The main engine is a Mitsui-MAN B&W 5S50 ME. So that's like, I guess you could say, the exhaust pipe, and that goes straight up through the funnel. Through this door is the steering gear room, pretty self-explanatory. That mechanism up the back there controls the rudder. There's the incinerator for burning cardboard waste. We have 3 air compressors, and behind that the air reservoir tanks. What we're walking past now are just various oil storage tanks. On the ship, there's 3 Daihatsu diesel generators, which gives us our electricity on board. This tank here is part of the freshwater system. Cascade tank. We have another oil tank here. This here is part of the ballast water treatment system. These are the oil purifiers. We have 4 of these on board. And that contraption with the pipes is the lube oil cooling system. And this is the sewage treatment system. The sewage is treated with UV before being discharged overboard as grey water. Now on the bottom floor of the engine room, right down the bottom of the ship, the emergency escape trunk to be used in an emergency. Takes the guys all the way up to the upper deck. This here is the freshwater generator. And we have the propeller shaft being driven by the main engine. And another look at the main engine from down below. If you are enjoying the video so far, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll show you up here on Monkey Island first, and then we'll go have a look around the rest of the outside of the ship. Best view on the ship, Monkey Island. So what do we have up here? Magnetic compass. I showed you that earlier on the bridge. The magnetic compass above the helm. This is it, up here on Monkey Island. Anemometer measures our wind speed and wind direction. GPS compass antenna. VDR, voyage data recorder. I guess you could compare that to like a black box on an aeroplane. Headmast antenna and radome. We have the mast. Top of that, navigation lights, S-band, X-band radar booms, VHF antenna. Yes, we've got Starlink. It's not connected yet though, but they're going to be hooking it up in the next few days. Another in-mast sat radome and antenna. Onboard common number 1 antenna and AIS antenna. So that's Monkey Island. This is the bridge wing, starboard side. The funnel. Port side bridge wing. Have a radio broadcast antenna and a radio receive antenna. Heading down to sea deck now. Not too much down here. We do have access into the funnel and into the engine room from here. Starboard side of B deck we have the davit lifeboat, which seats 25 persons. And down there on A deck is an inflatable life raft. Just coming through the passageway to the port side, still on B deck. Again, we have another lifeboat, good for 25 people. And we have another life raft. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside a lifeboat, seating for 25 people. There are emergency rations on board. I believe that's stored underneath the seats. Set of oars in case the engine cuts out. Emergency steering, emergency rudder. This is the driver's seat. Steering wheel, tachometer, RPM, on and off switch, start stop. Fuses, light switches, power control. compass and searchlight, and that's the view. So here we have a 25-person life raft inside this pod, inflatable life raft. Now you can manually release it and throw it overboard, but in the event the ship sinks and this ends up submerged, this little device here senses water pressure. I believe it's like 3 or 4 meters, and then it cuts the rope there, freeing the lashing over the pod and then inflating the life raft. We've reached Papua New Guinea. This island here is New Ireland. That's the southern tip of it down there. It's 7:45 in the morning. Should take us about 12 hours to pass before we head out over the equator and carry on towards China. Check this out. Got some whales giving us a bit of a display this morning. Wow. Every time I come through here I see these guys. Amazing. Got some local villagers here coming from the mainland, probably heading out to one of the islands. That's cool. Lovely weather for it. This here is Lahir Island. About 28,000 people apparently live on it. So around the back, which you can't see, is a large gold mine. I think it's owned by Newmont from Australia, and there's also a small airstrip. What a stunning sunset. These islands here, called the Tabar Group. Tabar Group of islands. That island there on the right, that's Simberi Island. I only discovered a couple of months ago when I came through here. There's actually a mine there as well. When you come through at night time, you can see the flashing lights of like all the mining vehicles and stuff. So yeah, quite interesting. Didn't know there was a mine there until a few months ago. Anyway, next stop, the Northern Hemisphere. There we have it, the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah, there's the equator behind us here. Yep. Calm as out there today. The sea's like a mirror. Wow. So smooth. In the East China Sea at the moment. About 24 hours until we reach our anchorage at CJK just outside Shanghai. And then we'll be heading up to the port of Taicang, which is about a 7-hour passage up the Yangtze River. A little bit gloomy out there today, and winds are picked up too. Alright, we're almost in China. Just left our anchorage position at CJK. I've got about a 35-mile trek to get to the pilot station. We'll be boarding at around 11 o'clock, 11:30 tonight, so probably won't be awake for that. So we'll see you all at Taicang tomorrow morning. Night all. All these lights that you see here on the horizon, that's not land or buildings or anything. They're all ships. Also in front of me there, more ships. Everything comes in here. Containers, bulk, like us, tankers. Yeah, amazing. Good morning all. Yeah, we got up early today. We're really well at the Yangtze River now. About 8 nautical miles from Taicang, so enjoy the footage on the arrival. Taicang, China. Hope you enjoyed the journey. I just want to give a shout out to Captain Dela Cruz for having me on board for the last 3 weeks. Another load of wood successfully delivered to China. Thanks for coming along on the trip. I hope you enjoyed the ship tour of Norse Altamira. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. Until next time, whether it's on the sea or in the sky, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.